Good morning, everyone. So, Russian assassins are stalking Europe. So, this comes, off the back of recently two Ukrainian soldiers were stabbed to death in Germany by a 57-year-old Russian man, as we believe, allegedly. That's what the reports are saying. So, what I want to talk about, guys, is the increase of this and moving forwards, how I see this just being, this is going to really ratchet up as, tensions rise and the West, gives more support for Ukraine. And then obviously you've got the problems in the Middle East. Now, what I want to use as as a template for this is what recently happened tragically in Russia with the Moscow concert attack. So if you cast your minds back to, when was it now? It seems like, I think it was like the end of March. So at the end of March, there was a concert attack in Moscow where I think 60 people were shot. Now it's come out that these attackers, they were paid like $5,000 each. Now, I just want to talk about the financial implications of this. When you look at, and there was four of them, so that's like $20,000. Now, you can't even buy a gimbal for a drone for that, and a decent camera system for a drone for that amount of money. So when these, when people are planning these war situations and these conflicts, do we think it's beyond the realms of possibility that somewhere in an adversary country, they're thinking, right, okay, well, is it the next phase of warfare where we just pay radicalists to go and do an attack in another country? I think that's a high likelihood, and let's not forget that in the UK, we've been victims to Russian assassins, for a long time. Also, there's a few articles. Yeah, there's a few articles out now about the, about the growing threat of these assassins roaming through Europe. There's quite a lot of incidents of this happening. And I think that, the cost effectiveness analysis of these type of attacks, it's really ridiculous, because, I think we have this illusion in our heads of these, of assassins being paid vast amounts of money, to go and do these secret jobs from what we've seen on Hollywood movies. But the reality of the situation is, from what we've seen and what we can look at with our own eyes and what we can analyze, is no, these would-be assailants get paid absolute pittance. But what they are is they're people a lot of time who are fanatical or have potentially mental health problems, who are struggling in other ways. Now, in the UK, we've just had this, thing go about, this Rwanda bill. If you're not from the UK, in the UK, we have a problem with immigration, and the government are saying that they're going to ship all the migrants now to Rwanda. That said, it's come out recently in mainstream media that over half of the people earmarked for deportation to Rwanda have gone missing. Now, who are these people? Why have they gone missing? Where are they? Could they be given money to, potentially carry out one of these attacks? We've already seen this as a viable combat method, a viable combat model, if for want of a better expression to call it. Now, I really fear that these things are just gonna increase in frequency. They're gonna increase in scope and capability. Why do I say that? All the weapons that are in Eastern Europe that are going to be flooding Europe pretty soon. All this stuff fed into this narrative now, and the cost of it. Remember, guys, okay, everything's about cost. Think about the cost of drones, of missiles, of all the rest of it. Now, if we're saying that this Russian attack on the Russian cinema, the Moscow cinema, if we're saying that cost $20,000 to do that attack, look at the effectiveness that they got from their $20,000. That's ridiculous. You're not going to get that if you spend $20,000 in the military industrial complex. So we're already seeing this internal asymmetric warfare on home ground. And that really is where the threat is. If you live in the UK, if you live in the US, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, I erroneously put that together with America, as it's North America. So that's where I am, guys, okay? That's the threat moving forwards, and this thing's only going to increase. Threat of Russian assassins is only going to increase. Threat of terror attacks is only going to increase because of the cost effectiveness of them, guys. And that is the bottom line. Guys, tell me what you think. And if you've not done so already, please like and follow and subscribe to this channel. Really helps us out when you do that. See you in a bit when I put my next video on.